So here we are sharing the PowerShell community call January 2017 recording. Unfortunately, we lost the audio for the first 50 minutes of the community call where we discuss the PowerShell 6.0 plan, which is issue number 3046. We will share the chat window details where community and PowerShell team members interacted. And for the next community call, we'll make sure we have the proper testing of both the audio and video recordings so we don't run into this situation. And towards the end, Steve Lee showed the Power BI and discussed how he built the Power BI to visualize the GitHub contributions.
So here you can see a new dashboard I'm building out. Basically, using what is available on GitHub today, it doesn't provide all the details. We're looking forward to see how we're doing as a community. So here on the first page, you can kind of see the downloads over time. So on the left side, you see the breakout between the different operating systems, and clearly at this point in time, the Linux uptake is significantly higher than Mac and Windows, which is not surprising. And then on the right side, you can see a breakout of the different versions that we published so far. And Alpha 12 by far is the largest one being downloaded today. But the other ones are slowly gaining ground, and as we get closer to the beta, I expect more and more downloads. And as we hit the beta, I expect us to have a much larger adoption. And on the total downloads, you can see that so far we've had over 500,000 downloads. But downloads themselves doesn't give us the full picture. One person could be downloading it and not using it, or another person could be downloading it and deploying it on hundreds or thousands of machines. On this page, you see basically a comparison of the community versus Microsoft in terms of contributions. If you start with the bottom one, you can see the contributions. I kind of split up into 4 different groups. If you look on what GitHub provides you in terms of the graphs, you can really only look at commits. In this case, I think that there are at least 4 different ways for the community to provide value to the PowerShell project. The first one is opening issues. If you're finding bugs or have suggestions, just opening issues is always very useful. And then for people to comment on issues, helping people to troubleshoot, like, is it really a bug? Is it a duplicate? What area it belongs to? Additional information needed so we can actually find root cause. And then pull requests, of course, is very useful to us. This is basically committing code. And then finally, pull request comments, which is the equivalent of code reviews, is also very useful, and that's all happening for the community. On the top graph, you can see a comparison over time, with the lighter color being what's coming in from the community across those 4 categories of contributions. And the darker color is what's coming out of Microsoft. And you kind of see, there were times where the community was doing more than what we were doing at Microsoft, and at times they're doing less. But overall, if I were to eyeball it, pretty good set of contributions coming from the community, which is highly appreciated. It's really helping us to do more than we could do if we were just closed source. So it really kind of validates the decision to go open source. And hopefully this will continue to grow over time as we get more people in the community working and the team gets more efficient in the Microsoft employees doing contributions. On the next page here, we see top contributors over the last 30 days. This one shows the Microsoft contributors, which is not that interesting, useful internally. This last one is actually, for me, the more interesting one, which is top contributors from the community over the last 30 days. And you can see, you can probably see a bunch of names you recognize. Boris, who Sergey was originally one of the Microsoft employees that helped to open source this project. He's since moved on, but he continues to contribute to this project, which we greatly appreciate. We also want to call out Ilya, who's one of the top contributors across the board. He's doing awesome, providing pretty much issues, commenting on issues, pull requests, and also code reviews. So certainly we appreciate all the contributions people are making, but we just want to call out Ilya specifically. He's currently far and ahead, one of the top contributors from the community, and we hope that will continue for some time. And of course, because this is over the last 30 days, anyone can help make themselves move further up the rankings if that's something you care about. My plan is to actually craft a blog post that kind of describes the dashboard in detail next week, and also have a follow-up blog post kind of detailing how I put all this together. Basically, I'm using PowerShell, running in an Azure function, calling GitHub REST APIs, putting the data into an Azure table, and then having Power BI pull all that together for the visualization. So I'll share that code on the gallery, and I'll have a blog post detailing some of the challenges I hit and some of the solutions I found.